Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Talking with F. Don't know why I just did that, just felt like it. How's everyone doing? What's everyone been up to? Hope you're all well and chilling in this quarantine, still ongoing. And talking of quarantine, there's been quite a few developments around it. Now, it just came out a few days ago that the UK, the United Kingdom, is the second worst hit country in the world with the amount of deaths due to the coronavirus. And it's the first, well, it's top of the list in Europe as the worst country for coronavirus deaths, which, to be honest, is it's it's quite mad, to be honest. Like, it's a really bad number. Um, when it was announced, there's a lot of public anger. A lot of people were pissed off. Like, how come it got to that state? Why did it get so bad? I think the death toll right now stands at, like, I believe it's over 30,000. The worst thing is there's been a lot of deaths in care homes, which is really bad, to be honest. Like, if actions would have been taken much more quicker, hopefully, all of this, well, most of this could have been prevented. Um, but yeah, that was a statistic that came out. It's not really one that you want to know about or talk about, or one that you want to happen, but it's out there. So I think we just gotta take it as it comes, and you know try to go ahead with improvements. On the back of that as well, now they've started saying that they're going to ease restrictions, so they're going to ease the quarantine, their self isolation. Now, it hasn't officially been announced yet by Boris Johnson. I believe he's going to announce it um, on Sunday, which would be the 10th of May 2020. I believe he's gonna let the world know how the UK is gonna get out of quarantine. I believe, like, there's been a lot of rumors flying around, a lot of news agencies coming out with all these plans that the government's gonna be potentially taking. One of the interesting ones that I saw was that it's gonna be a plan that's gonna be extended over like a over like a 5 6 month period. So it's gonna fully open up, not fully open up, but it'll be open up quite a lot fully in August September time. What they're gonna do is, I believe, like, every week or 2 weeks they're gonna open up more places, like, slowly. So I believe that they're gonna be, from Monday onwards, they're gonna allow unlimited exercise, which, to be honest, I think people do that already. So it could make a little bit of a difference. And then they're gonna slowly start opening things up. There's a lot of takeaways and restaurants that have basically publicly been announcing that they'll be opening certain restaurants in certain places. What they'll be doing is they'll be doing takeaway services. Like, one of the ones that I heard about was Nando's. So Nando's, I do love a Nando. Who doesn't love a nice Nando? Um, to be honest, I've missed it as well. It's been that long that I haven't had a Nando's that you know I am kind of craving it. But Nando's came out with that they were gonna slowly start opening a few of the stores, and then doing, like, only a delivery service, which, to be honest, is a smart move from them. Like, they'll they won't lose as much business, and a lot of people will start ordering from them. So they just have to make sure that they're on point and they're delivering to places. But it slowly started to pick up. Like I said, there's a lot of restaurants that have started to announce that they're going to be opening slowly. So they'll be opening takeaway services. But back to the plan. So the plan is that, well, Boris Johnson wants to slowly open the UK economy, so he wants to get it started again. Because there's been a big detriment because of quarantine, because of self isolation. There's been a lot of people that have lost their jobs, a lot of people who can't do work, who can't make it to work, who are losing income, who are relying on the government to pay them. So I believe that, that's one of the main reasons why they want to start opening up. Well, they want to start opening everything up so the economy can get ahead. But ideally, like, if you really think about it, all of this will completely be completely be done when there's a vaccine developed. Now, like the whole world's working on one, and you always like read these articles online where they go on about it, and they're like, they're working on one, and it should be ready in this year. Like, there's been some good estimates, to be honest. Like, if you think about it, like they normally say that a vaccine takes like it can take anywhere between 5 to 10 years to develop, but because of the corona and how it's hit the world, like they've fast tracked everything that they normally would, take time to process and analyze and make sure it's doing the correct way. They've just like fast tracked a lot of the processes in developing this vaccine, and the estimates are that it could come out this year around the autumn time, which, to be honest, is quite good. Like, ideally, that's what you want in place. They could lift as much as the quarantine that they want, but at the end of the day, if there's no vaccine there to like prevent people from catching this corona again, there could be a second wave, there could be a third wave. So hopefully we can get to a point where where there's one developed and everyone can become immune to it and life can go back to normal. Like, it can move on. But good things are that Nando's is opening. That's my main takeaway. Like, I'm glad that Nando's is opening. So you best believe that the minute it opens up in my area, I'm getting that phone straight away, dialing that number, and ordering myself some peri peri chicken. And if you're from a place where you haven't had Nando's, um, it's really good. Like, if you're ever in the UK, like it's not just based in the UK, it's like all around the world, apart from a few countries. But if you never ever heard of it in your area, I would suggest that you research about it, look it up, go to a restaurant, get a takeaway, and believe me, trust me, you'll love it. It's really, really good. Like, one of the best. So like, what can you do? What can you do in quarantine? So like usual, like I've been doing most of this quarantine. I've just been on Netflix. And Netflix has pulled through. Like they've got quite good shows. They've got the Last Dance, which is a documentary about it's about Michael Jordan. When he used to play basketball for the Chicago Bulls. It just documents his basically his beginning and his end throughout the whole process. It's a really, really interesting watch. Like, it really goes deep into him, like what kind of person he was, like what he was into, what happened with his family and such and such. Like, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, um, because if no one's seen it, I wouldn't want to spoil whatever's in it. But I will say that there was this like whole segment of him being like a really big gambler and having a gambling addiction, which caused his family problems. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, he was portrayed as a gambler who had a gambling well who's addicted to gambling, and that affected his family in like a bad way. But I will let you watch the documentary and you'll see it for yourself. I don't want to really spoil anything for yourselves. And another thing I've been watching is Afterlife. Um, to be honest, it's a really good show. Like, I was quite surprised by how good it was. It's played by Arcade Ricky, UK talent, big up. Um, but I saw it on I believe I saw it on Twitter. There was a second season that came out. Like, I've never watched this show before. There was a second season that came out, and there was a lot of promotion, a lot of people retweeting and tweeting about, you need to watch Afterlife season two, such and such. And I thought, you know what, I've got all the time in the world. Why don't I give it a quick watch? So I started from season one, put the first episode on, and the next time I got up, all of season one was finished within a day. That's how good it was. And I still need to complete season two. I'm on season two, episode one. But it's a really, really good show. So that's a really good shout. Like, if you have free time, you got Netflix, go on it, watch it, and you won't be disappointed. It's a really good show. Like, it's got a lot of comedic reliefs. It's got a lot of it's got a lot of it's like an emotional roller coaster. Like, it's not all comedy. Like, do you like some shows that you have are just comedy based? Like, it's just laughs and laughs and laughs. It's quite ups and downs. That's what I'd call it. Like, you have quite a lot of mixed emotions when you watch it. Sometimes you want to cry, sometimes you want to laugh. uh, you know it's a really good show like that. So you'd be in a surprise for if you did watch it. The main actor from it, he was Ricky. He was the main lead in The Office. I don't know how many people of you have watched it now. There is The Office in the UK and The Office in America. The Office I am talking about, the TV show called The Office, is the UK based one, the original one. He was the main lead in that as well, and that was quite a decent watch as well. So I mean, everyone's got free time. Like, legitly, what are you gonna do? So give it a watch. Give Afterlife a watch. If you like that, research about the guy. That's what I normally do. Like, whenever I watch a TV show or I watch like a movie, and there's one actor that stands out for me, or even two, or God knows how many. Like, their performance stands out for me. I like the way they carry themselves in the movie, the way they act in the movie as well. What I'll do is I'll go onto the movie's Wikipedia page, look up the actor, and then I'll look into what other TV series or movies he's been in. Just to see if there's any other movies, because I know he's performed so well in a movie that I've just seen. Then it kind of gives me hope that he's gonna have the same kind of performance in another movie. So that's always a good way to look at different movies. Um, like I say, never always believe what critics say. Like, you know, there's some shows that I love so much, and you go on like a Rotten Tomatoes, the critic site, and they'll basically give it like a rating of 25%. Like, it's 25%. That's how many people liked it. That's how many critics liked it. Like, before, like a few years ago, I used to like follow that by the book. So whenever I want to watch a movie, I'd go onto like these websites where there's critics, and they analyze a movie and they write about it, and they basically recommend if it's worth a watch or not. And if they gave a good review, I'd go onto the movie and watch it. And if they gave a bad like rating for a movie, then I'd think, you know what, there's no point. Don't really need to watch it. Why should I waste like 2 to 3 hours of my life just watching something that's not really being rated good? But like, recently, not recently, but then I just started watching some comedy movies, some different TV shows, and I'd fully watch them. Like, I wouldn't go on a critic site to read about them or see what kind of rating they got. I'd just go into it, think, all right, let me just watch this. It's got like a good actor that I like before. He acted really well in this movie. So I'd watch the full movie and I'd think to myself, you know what, I really enjoyed this movie. Like, let me just see what other people thought of it. And then you'd go on to something like Rotten Tomatoes, and the critics have given it like a 15% approval rating, which I think is totally bullshit. Like, why do you need someone else to tell you if you should like a movie or if you shouldn't, or if you should watch a movie if you shouldn't? Like, if you really deep it, like, what you're basically saying is, like, you want another person to tell you if you're gonna like the movie. Like, how can that be? How can someone make that assumption? Like, isn't it all up to personal preference? Isn't it all subjective that if you're gonna like it or if you're not? But each to their own. Like, me, basically, if I see a movie, I'll read a synopsis. If the synopsis is, if it's something that I'm interested in, I'll give the movie a watch, regardless of what kind of rating it's got on any critic site or Rotten Tomatoes and such and such. So it's just one of those ones. And another thing is, recently, like, it's been quite popular on the news as well. This is quite recent, to be honest. There was a murder that happened of a black American man called Ahmuad Arbery. Now, Ahmuad Arbery was in the US state of Georgia. He was jogging, and he basically got killed by two white, basically, I don't know what they were, farmers or whatever they were, but they basically shot him and killed him. Now, this happened back in February, and these guys only got arrested recently. Now, what basically happened was, when this happened back in February, the two American white guys, they basically said that, you know, Aubrey, Ahmed Aubrey was a suspect. Like, he was running from something. He robbed some, basically he carried out a robbery and he was running away. And what they have is, in the state of Georgia, they have like this weird law that if a person thinks that then their life's in danger, or there's a threat to their life, they can basically you know harm someone, like shoot someone. And because of the Second Amendment, and it being America, everyone has a right to have a gun on themselves. And especially in Georgia, where like you get all these hillbillies that carry shotguns and rifles, and they carry them in the open as well. So what happened was that people believe that story, that he was a guy, this Ahmad Arbery guy was basically was caught out there causing some harm. He was threatening these two white guys, and what they did was in self-defense they killed him. Then recently, this is like a week ago, a clip came out, a clip got released where someone actually recorded this guy Ahmad Arbery running, and he was just running away from these guys. Like these guys were literally chasing him on the back of a truck, and the minute they catch up to him, one of the guys gets up and basically fires a shotgun at him, hits him, and then the other guy goes quite close to him and they have a little struggle, and another gunshot is fired, and then that Ahmad Arbery just fell to the floor and he died. And this came out recently, and because it came out recently and there's a clip of it, there's a big uproar. Like internationally, there was a big uproar. Like people were saying, like, what the fuck's happening? What is going on? Like, this has been going on for many, many years, where ethnic minorities in America get killed over bullshit, over no reason. And so there was a really, really big outburst of the public, and then it just came out. I believe it came out today or yesterday that these two guys have been arrested, and they're gonna go to trial for the murder of this poor guy. But it's fucked up, to be honest. Like why would you do that? Like, aren't we past that stage where all this racism, and you're this color and you're this way, so I don't like you? Like, it's just a lot of bullshit. Like, to be honest, these guys who committed that, they should be locked up for life without parole. They should just be locked up and the keys thrown away, so that way other people who are in that mindset of like, oh yeah, if I see someone of an ethnic minority, I'm going to shoot them on sight, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, they can be like deterred a bit, like thinking, you know what, the justice system is not going to stand for that, and if they do anything of that sort, they'll get put in prison, keys thrown away for life, gone. But I will keep you updated with the story. Obviously because of the whole corona, the courts are closed, so they're waiting to take him to court and basically see if they can trial him. Like, I wouldn't put anything past the American justice system. Ideally, like, until a person's actually sentenced, then you can, like, you can think, you can have like a sign of relief and think, okay, justice was served. There's been a lot of cases where where certain acts have been carried out and the perpetrators have just received a few years in prison, or they've got off as self-defense. So until like everything's confirmed and everything's fully basically completed and these guys have got sent up and they're locked up for what they did, that'll be the time when you can basically say, okay, justice was served. But onto other stories as well. um, I do love, not yeah, I do love playing them. I've got a PlayStation 4, so I do play on games here and there, like much more now, because because you can't really go outside. But there's been news on the new PS5 and the Xbox Series X. There's a lot of updates dropping on them as well. The release dates, well, not the release dates, but they've started revealing photos and pictures of what they're going to look like as well. Like a few weeks ago, they revealed the PS5 control. To be honest, which looked pretty dope. But that's something to look forward to as well, like the next gen consoles that are going to come out and what kind of games they're going to come out with. Like over the years, they've just kept making like better and better and better on games. Like they just kill it. Like the gaming industry is killing it. Like I believe it's as big as the movie industry. On Well, not as big, but close enough, to be honest. Like some of these games that come out, they're like gross like 500-600 million dollars. Like if they're really really good. The ones that stand out for me are like Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty. One of the best games that came out. Um, like me myself, I own a PS4, so you know, so I'm just gonna talk from that perspective. But one of the best games that came out was God of War. Like that was a really really good game that came out for the PS4. It was developed by Sony as well, and it received really good reviews from gamers. They sold a shit ton of games, and I can't wait for the next one to come out. But it's good that they're developing the next gen consoles. It gives you something to look forward to. You get extra power. What are the Pacifics going to be? What are the specifications going to be? What kind of games that are going to release with them as well. Because ideally, that's what matters as well. Whenever there's a new console, if once that console gets released, if there's not any good games, no one's gonna buy it. Like no one's gonna give two shits about it because they're gonna think, okay, why have I got this like 500-600 pound, you know, say PS5 when it hasn't got any games that I like. So what they normally do is whenever they do release like a new next gen console, like the PS5 or the Xbox Series X, what they'll do is they'll release some games that are like in really high demand, and that's what helps sell them as well. So it's something to look forward to and see how it is. But that's all the update I got for you guys this week. Once again, you can listen to me on Spotify and iTunes, which is Apple Podcasts, and just go on the search bar, type in "Talking with F" and subscribe and like my podcast as well. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just type in "Talking with F." You should see my logo. Join me. Um, basically. Follow me on those social media platforms, and then whenever I do release any new content, you'll always be up to date, and you can always be up to date with anything that does come out. But stay safe, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. It's gonna be a nice weekend this week. It's bank holiday, and they're saying the sun's out, so you know don't cause any trouble. Don't don't you know don't go above and beyond the social distancing rules. Like, don't basically throw them away just because the sun's out and start doing some dumb shit. Stay within control, stay within reason, and enjoy the sun and enjoy yourselves. And I'll speak to you guys next week. Take care.